Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It is just coming up to 3:30 UTC here, and we are going to be getting underway with our next winners bracket match in the 5-Digit World Cup. This is going to be a close bout. Hopefully, we have the number 4 versus the number 5 seed, Canada versus Philippines. My name's Juno. I am so excited to be joined here by iFlame today, and we're going to be going through this match here.
Yeah, glad to finally be casting with Juno again. Some exciting players on both sides. I won't read out the full rosters because there's a lot of players on each team, but a couple of the highlights. Jackie and Sumyon have been the two big carries for Canada so far in this tournament. They have performed week after week. Meanwhile, Philippines have had a bit more balance to their roster. Zany has consistently been the main carry, but they've had some very strong performances from players like Yuxo, as well as Lefakai, depending on the week. So, if we see the two carries from Canada pop off, I could see Canada taking this one, but if Philippines can find more consistency out of their maybe slightly lower skill cap, but slightly better depth, then they could take this one as well. And what's most fascinating to me about this matchup, is the skill sets between these two teams. If you look at the qualifiers and you take a look at which maps these teams did well on, there is a near identical overlap in the two maps these teams are good at. These teams are incredible on hidden, incredible on tapping, and incredible on ult. They're not so good on the hard rocks, at least from what we've seen so far. The AMDTs have been okay for both. The one edge I would give to the Philippines is probably the tech picks, where they have looked pretty good, and that's more of the slider tech as opposed to the flow aim tech, I'd say. Canada is quite solid on the flow aim. So you would not necessarily be looking at something like the Hidden 3, which is more of a flow aim tech map, but maybe something more like a Hard Rock 1, because, with neither team being not that comfortable on Hard Rocks, all of a sudden it becomes potentially more pickable if you feel like you're better on the skill set, but it doesn't feel like there's going to be any free picks in this match.
No, not at all. One area that I've seen Canada struggle a bit on in the past couple of weeks has been on more of the tapping, more of the flow aim stream maps, more of the stamina picks. I know these stats that we see on screen here aren't everything. It all ultimately comes down to how the players perform in the match. But it is quite daunting when you see 10, 10, 10, 10, and then going down to tech 10, and only one category above 9 for Canada in that finger control. Although I wouldn't be surprised, of course, as you said, Jackie and Sumyon definitely able to carry some of these maps. Really the two standout players here on Canada. But then on Philippines, I feel like their overall team performance coming together with 4 scores on every map is going to be how they take this match far today.
Yeah, and another interesting trend I've noticed throughout the qualifiers, that Philippines had 3 number 1 scores. It feels like they have the higher potential when it all comes together. They had the higher highs, but also the lower lows, whereas Canada generally had more consistent scores. They didn't get any number 1 scores in the qualifiers, but less kind of super low scores as well. So we'll see if that ends up being a factor. I also do question a little bit how accurate the stats are, because if Philippines have this many 10s, you have to wonder what the stats of the top 3 teams in this tournament look like, at least by seeding. I guess it is possible that Philippines have just been outperforming every other team in the last 2 weeks. And as we wait for the ban, it's not entirely clear. One thing that Philippines have looked really good on the past 2 weeks are the AR8 maps. I think just last week they had the top scores on both the Hidden 2 and the anti-mod free mod pick, whereas Canada, they got the top score on the Hidden 3 last week, so it makes sense that they're protecting that. And Philippines, the free mod 2, so They are going to be protecting that anti-mod somewhat as expected. I wonder if Canada now wants to ban out the AR8 hidden 2. It's something that, yes, they've done throughout this tournament. They've consistently been one of the top teams, but Philippines have just been better. I think they had the top or either the best or the second best hidden 2 score in qualifiers. Yeah, they had the best hidden 2 score in qualifiers. They had the best hidden 2 score last week as well. And so as good as you might be, I don't think you want to gamble that hidden 2 against the Philippines. We'll see if Canada feels the same.
Yeah, actually, funny enough that not hidden 3, but Fremont 2 gets protected again in this match, this time by Philippines. In the last match that I commentated at 18 UTC today, it was, I believe, who was Germany playing? Germany was playing against Brazil. And Brazil protected Fremont 2, but then started losing reading picks, and then did not end up using their protect. But Canada going to be going for a DT1 ban. Maybe they don't have the players available right now for a full 10.3 roster. And very interesting, we were talking about the Philippines tech roster. It looks like they're actually going for a Nomad 4 ban, although not the most standard of tech maps. A lot more finger control and some flow aim elements to that map. Canada going to be coming in with a second ban here. You mentioned that hidden 2. Wouldn't be surprised to see that go here, or they might also look towards a Nomad 2 ban. It's a pick that they've sort of underperformed on in past weeks. And then Philippines, they go for a Nomad 4. I think Canada finger control is strong, and they might go for a Fremont 3 ban.
Yeah, I could see that. I will say the DT1 ban makes sense. Canada's look good on tapping DTs, but not so much these DT1s that are these high AR picks. And the Nomad 4, like you said, it's not your traditional slider tech map. It does have a fair bit of finger control, a fair bit of slider aim. And so if you're looking for like your traditional tech map, that's in the Hard Rock 1 slot this time around rather than the Nomad 4. So bans are kind of consistent so far with what we'd be expecting. And we're just waiting for the second bans to come in. I mean, we've kind of made our speculations. Maybe they could keep the same trend. If Canada wants to continue banning out aim, they could go for the Nomad 1, but it doesn't feel super necessary. So they're going to ban out that Nomad 2 instead. So they're going to be banning out the stream pick. They leave up that hidden 2, and evidently Canada feels comfortable on this week's hidden 2, and they're ready to take on the Philippines, who I would be pretty surprised if we don't see them pick that.
Yeah, again, not surprised to see the Nomad 2 go here. Just to quickly mention, as we get in this last ban, how these teams got here. So last week, Canada did take out China 5-3, and the Philippines took out Poland 5-1. So taking out some of the lower seeded teams, and they're going to go for a Nomad 1 ban here, actually. Not surprised, more consistent map, just your run-of-the-mill, just 4.5 minute long aim map, so maybe just don't want to deal with that much consistency in the pool.
Maybe. I mean, I can't say that one was necessarily on my radar as a Philippines ban, but I guess that's going to be the case. And now we wait for the first pick. And when you look at the head-to-heads between these two teams last week, it is actually pretty even. Both teams scoring better than the other one on various maps, and I believe on the maps both of them have played, the head-to-head is 2-2, off the top of my head at least. And we're going to get a free mod 1 pick, and Philippines have looked good on the free mods so far, so this one makes a lot of sense. They had the top score in the free mod 2 last week, obviously. This map, very different than the anti-mods, but we did see one of them play easy. I don't think this is the kind of map you take an easy on, sadly, as much as I'd love to see it. But with these custom multipliers, you never know, right? Because this map does have a 2.4 easy multiplier, which is pretty massive. And that could potentially incentivize Zany to practice this one, and is currently in the lobby. And I think for Philippines, we're going to generally see Zany and Yuki in kind of permanently. And it looks like we've got Hetzer and Jerry as last two members. Currently, Caveman, Lexic, Acer in for Canada. I am expecting it to be Jackie
Simeon
in as the last. Okay, it's going to be Simeon instead. That makes sense as well.
Yeah, and this map being 6.8, I am very curious to see how many hard rocks we see on this, because the lower, or in this case higher CS, making the circle smaller, doesn't really affect the gameplay all that much. You're only going up to like CS 3.55, I believe, or something along those lines. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a hidden hard rock on someone on either side, or just more hard rocks than hiddens on the board here. And this being a Miss Magius map, of course, formerly known as Blue Dragon, the famous mapper for some very famous maps like the Big Black. Ever heard of that map?
I can't say that I have.
No. And features a lot of high BPM, very controlled pattern aim, not like the aim slop that we see today, but a lot of these back and forth jumps, and more of an alt style, some snap aim to it as well. And we're going to be getting into our first map of this match, Free Mod 1.
Yeah, looks like overmods from both teams. Canada running the double hidden, double hard rock, and Philippines, they've got an easy hidden from Zany doing it again. And the easy hidden, it's a 2.85 multiplier. So
that's insane.
If Zany can put up a good combo on the easy hidden, that's going to be worth so much. Otherwise, they've got one hidden, one hard rock, pretty standard. But keep an eye on this combo from Zany. That's going to be the most important one throughout this match. And honestly, if Zany can somehow FC on easy hidden, it's probably just a win, as we do see a first miss coming out from Lexic. And I'm not sure if the multiplier is factored into the score. It is, okay. I thought so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another break coming out from Acer as well. So the two hard rocks on the side of Canada are going to be going down early. Still these 4 full combos intact for Philippines right now. And looks like these hidden players really comfortable. And with Zany taking the double easy hidden, it leaves L actually to go for a flat out no mod. And you can see that paying off already with the highest accuracy in the lobby. Actually, no, I take that back as Zany. But that's a little bit different because there's the easy multiplier. But still performing very well, solid on the no mod, as you would want your no mod player to.
How about Zany, that's a big miss because that multiplier was so much. It is going to be really helpful to get that one down, but it's just more misses coming out from Canada. Jackie, the only one left holding, and Zany's the only miss on the Philippines so far. Otherwise, they're still holding the 3-way on their non-easy players. Canada just cannot keep up. They're so far behind, and I mean, we've got half of the map to go, but down by 600k feels nearly insurmountable, and it looks like the Philippines have found themselves a very good first pick.
Yeah, even though we do see another break actually coming out from Yukixo on the side of the Philippines on that hard rock. It's just the one full combo on Jackie right now versus the 2 on L and Jerry. It's so trippy to see how early the circles show up. It's like you're watching an entirely different map in the top right hand corner. Yeah, but still going strong on the easy hidden with the recovery, and it looks like this is just keeps going in favor with these 2 full combos for the Philippines. Over 700k now. We do see a final break coming out of Jerry, but L going to be holding it out. It is coming back a little bit, but there's definitely not enough potential score here for Canada to make a comeback.
Yeah, and I mean, just goes to show that if you want to put in the time to practice these maps on these weird mod combinations, it is so worth it. Zany with this multiplier, is beating every score on the side of Canada except for Jackie, who's got the 900,000. But it was a dominant showing from the Philippines, and this is why they've been unbeatable on these free mods. And they still have the free mod 2 open, the free mod 3 as well. Nice to have some direction from them. The free mod 2, the protect, an obvious pick in the future. The free mod 3, probably a little bit less easy HDable, but I guess you never know, right?
Did see an easy on it this morning, so definitely possible. Possible. Up next, Canada's pick. They have protected that hidden 3. I don't think they're going to dip into that yet, but we'll see if they decide to go with another hidden pick, possibly that hidden 2 that we were talking about earlier that could be so very contested in this match. Or maybe they want to go for a different skill set altogether. They do go for hidden 1 though. So this is going to be a Paradigm 4210, Lie and a Chameleon. This is a former OWC map, focusing a lot on that the awkward hidden pattern aim.
Yeah, and especially with the No Mod 1 ban earlier, I do like the pick from Canada. And this is a very strong hidden team. They tend to be good on aim when they don't need to play 10.3. Mind you, I think they're missing. We know they're missing XDA, who I believe would be in for the AR 10.3. So I expect that's the reason for the ban. I like the pick, although it's far from the guarantee, right? That's the scary part about this matchup for either team. There are very few maps that you can go into feeling comfortable about getting yourself a point, and we'll see if Canada can do that here, as I think Jackie and Samyeon are going to be perma-lobbied for Canada. I wouldn't be surprised to see Caveman sub in, and we do see the Fakai come in for the Philippines now as well. Was one of their best performers in round of 32. I think actually what might have been the top player in round of 32, had a really good showing. And so we'll see if they can keep up that performance here.
Yeah, you're just looking for a good rebound here from Canada as well. Lexic coming in has been historically one of Canada's best 5-digit hidden players just over the course of the past half a decade almost, at least from what I remember. And this is really where you really don't want to give up a break point here for Canada, because if you let Philippines get on a roll, they can really run away with this match really quick. We're still at S of 11 at this point, so there is some length to this match, but we're not going to our full like hour and a half, hour and 3/4 to 2 hour length matches that we would for a best of 13 or 15 here. Getting into hidden 1.
Yeah, I think with best of 11s, you give up 1 break point, it's not necessarily the end of the world. You give up 2, you're in a lot of trouble. But you really, really do not want that break point to be in your first couple picks, because those should be the maps that you're most comfortable on, and so it hurts ever so much more to drop a break point on those. And as we get into the hidden 1, we have seen an early miss from Le Fakai, but has been traded back by Lexic, and things are going to stay pretty even early on in this map. It's a reasonably long one, so players are going to have time to build up their combos, and these early misses aren't going to matter too much, although you would like to see some recoveries, as Samyeon has found a second miss. Slightly concerning as to the comfort level, but actually looking good. Saini has traded it, and Philippines should find themselves in a slight advantage, especially with that miss from Lexic, because now it's 1 FC trying to fend off 2 from the Philippines, but thankfully we're not far enough into the map where Philippines can run away with it quite yet.
Yeah, this one is just over 3 minutes, 3.25 minutes here, so lots of time left still, and getting into that first third. And actually, Jackie finding a break, that's going to be big. That was the last FC on the side of Canada, so Philippines going to be taking a much more sizable lead if they're able to hold through this next section here. Another break coming out of Caveman. That was another big recovery on the side of Canada, and nobody on the side of Philippines falling through this section, building up some really good combos here. All 3 over 600, and then Zany following up with 500 combo right now. And there's just more breaks coming up from Lexic and Sumion right now on the side of Canada. This is not how you want to start on your first pick. Just really going in an unfortunate way for Canada here.
Yeah, honestly, it's not a great team score for them on their own first pick. They're not really finding any combo. They're all, except for Jackie, below that 300k mark, and have to feel this is probably a bit of a low roll for them. I can't imagine you opt into first picking this if this is what the team scores look like. We have seen a couple misses from Yuki, but it's just not going to be enough. Canada have a quarter of the map left. They're down again by 600,000 points, and I mean, Philippines are still holding 3 big combos strong. 2 of those are full combos. They do lose 1, but they're not going to need it, as Lifkai and Sani are going to be more than enough to close this one out. In Canada, giving up one of the worst maps you can give a breakpoint on, pretty much only behind your protected pick. And so we'll see if Philippines is able to push this momentum and keep the victories going. I mean, losing a pick by a close margin is one thing, but this has been a dominant victory for Philippines, 1 million points into the ending.
Yeah, and Zany did finally find a break closer to the end of this map, but was holding over 99 for the majority of this map as well. And you see Lafarai, not the greatest accuracy, but damn the accuracy if you're holding onto a full combo, and that is what they are doing into the end of this map here.
Yeah, an impressive FC from Lifkai. And now Philippines has the pick. They do still have their protected map, and honestly, I think now is the time to pick it. You won your first pick. You dominated Canada's first pick, and let's just keep the momentum going. Pick the map that you feel is the strongest for your team, but they disagree. They're going to opt into the Hard Rock 3. This is interesting because this is going to be a Hard Rock alt map, and Hard Rock not something that either of these teams have liked playing too much, but when neither team links the skill set, you don't have to be the best team in the tournament on these Hard Rock alt picks. You just have to be better than your opponent, and I think Philippines have got a good shot.
I think this is going to be a slew of alt style picks on the side of Philippines here. We had the free mod 1 earlier. There's Hard Rock 3. We also have maps like, well, of course, No Mod 3, then No Mod 6 that are more in that alt style, and then as well as one of the issues is that Exia is one of from what I recall, Exia is one of Canada's better Hard Rock players. So we'll see if missing Exia does affect this. I would expect that the 2 players that are filling in on are Jackie and Sumion, and then Acer and Jackson Jason coming in for their first play of the map here, or the match here. But Philippines, they want an alt pick. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go for another alt pick.
Yeah, I have to correct myself a little bit. It turns out Philippines got the top score on Hard Rock 3 last week. Obviously, slightly different, but does translate somewhat, and it was a full combo from Yuki, and so I was going to be looking towards Yuki to put a big score. Twisted Chimera and L both put up really good scores as well. The only change in their lineup from last week is Hester subbing in, and so Philippines have a very, very strong lineup here. Canada, a little bit less tested on these Hard Rock alt picks, especially missing Exia, who, as you mentioned, definitely one of their better Hard Rock players. Feels like Jackie even didn't play the Hard Rock last week, so having to fill in. And we'll see if Jackie can put up a good showing on the Hard Rock, because Canada's going to need it. They would love to find a breakpoint back early, especially knowing that Philippines still have their protected pick. You don't have kind of as much time to find breakpoints, because you have to assume Philippines are going to be able to take that one when they need to.
Yeah, and you just need to have, like, you worry about mental to a point when you go down 3-0, maybe even 4-0, and just hoping that these players can keep it together here in these maps. Did see an early break coming up from Sumion on the side of Canada, as well as Jackson following up with that second break. So again, finding these early breaks on the side. There goes another one on the side of Canada. It's Acer finding a break. Do find one trade on the side of the Philippines being from Hetzer, and but it's not going to be enough for Canada to make any kind of comeback right now, as there's still 3 full combos on the side of the Philippines, a quarter of the way through the map.
Yeah, and it's yet again Canada quickly falling behind through the start of the map. I mean, they're still in the map, very much so, but now it's Philippines who are in the driver's seat, and it's Canada who just kind of has to sit back and wait for Philippines to find misses. And over the last couple maps, the Philippines have had players who just don't find those misses. We see one there from Hetzer and Twisted Chimera, but with El and Yuki still holding, Canada just don't have the combo to capitalize. They need a couple more misses, and El, Yuki, both still holding strong at the halfway mark.
And with great accuracies as well. Although,
what's a double miss?
Ooh, that's all the FC's gone on the side of the Philippines. Could this be the turning point where Canada can bring it back? It's flying back to the side. Although there's a break from Jackie, it's going to slow it down. Although it will still go over with those recoveries from Jackson, Jason, and Acer right now. So I believe this is one of Canada's first score leads. There's a break from Jackson, Jason on the very long repeating slider. Acer needs to hold into the end here for Canada to pull this out.
Yeah, Acer cannot afford a miss. If Acer finds a miss, Hetzer right there to capitalize, but all 4 players with combos break, and that's going to be pretty much a full reset. Canada with an ever so slight combo advantage. No longer as Sumyon does find the miss, but it's going to be...
Yuki breaks!
This is traded. This one could go either way. It's only 30,000 points, and now it's Twisted Chimera with the highest combo being backed by El, but it's pretty much a full reset for Canada. Twisted Chimera does trade. The score
all over the place.
Is flickering. Who is going to find misses into the ending? It's a pretty easy ending, and Philippines look like they're going to be able to hold on to this one, barring any accuracy drops. In Canada, a devastating loss. They had their chance to get the breakpoint back, but Philippines hold on, and they're going to be up by 3.
El held into the end there so much, so big for their team. And Philippines up 3-0 now. Canada, I wonder, you got to think they go for their protect. They just need some kind of purifier pick. It didn't work out on their first pick of the hidden one. You got to think they go for their protect. It theoretically should be their most comfortable map, and that's what Canada needs right now is comfort.
Yeah, and I think it's especially true in this match because these 2 teams have so many overlapping skill sets. There is a chance. I wouldn't say it's likely, but there's a non-zero chance that Philippines ends up picking a map that Canada feels incredibly comfortable on just because of the overlap in skill sets. And so Philippines is never going to pick that protect, and so you're better off picking it now, and that's what they're going to do here. I think good play from Canada, pick that any team would make here, and then you get one extra chance for Philippines to potentially pick a Canada favored map, but they have not won a map yet, Juno, and they are going to have to find some performance on this hidden 3. Philippines are still a very strong hidden team, and this is by no means a free point for Canada, as much as they should be favored.
Sure are a good hidden team. I love this song.
Oh, it's a banger.
It's so good. Of course, one of the custom songs from OWC 2024 in the Grand Finals. This was also the hidden 3 from OWC Grand Finals. But this is going to be Wispy's difficulty in the spread, and I believe this is getting pushed for rank very soon. Hopefully. There's also a lot of love for Wispy in the map pool showcase this past week, which I really agree with. Like, these Wispy maps, they're really well crafted. They're very hard, don't get me wrong, but they're also just very well crafted where they're just so much fun to play.
Yeah, these are the kind of map you expect to see a lot of misses on, And so if a single player can put up the big combo, they can absolutely solo carry this one. But more likely, it is going to come down to that team performance and just which team can put up more consistent combos. This map incredibly difficult, and it is a decent length as well. So if you can keep up with the difficulty of the map, there is time to build up some really, really big combos and pull far ahead of the competition. Interestingly, Philippines running a very different roster than they ran on last week's Hidden 3. We're not seeing Benz, we're not seeing Twisted Camaro. Instead, we're going to be seeing Jerry and L. So we'll keep an eye on those two combos, but I think generally the players we're going to be looking out for on this map, Yuki, Sumyeon, and Jackie are the three players that have been able to put up really good scores on similar maps in the past. As unsurprisingly, we do see one early miss come out from Caveman, and here we go into some pretty tricky flow aim patterns. The sliders aren't too difficult, and it's yet again Caveman with another miss, finds a pretty big accuracy drop as well. Really struggling on this one. Lexic and Yuki are going to trade, but that's going to be a pretty good trade for Philippines, as yet again, for the fourth map in a row, they're off to the lead at the start of the map.
Yeah, and I wonder if part of this, having Jerry and L in instead of the other Philippines players, is that there's a hockey term that they like to use for goaltenders called playing the hot hand. And maybe Elle and Jerry, they've played a few maps in this match so far. They've done quite well. Jerry does find a break, but Elle, okay. We do a little cursing, but both those players kind of find some troubles there. It's still Zany holding on to the full combo here, coming into this halfway point. They're going to see the scores here. Lexic with the highest combo on the side of Canada right now. 200k with half the map left. Definitely still comebackable.
Yeah, you have to imagine the pressure, though, for Lexic. Knows that they are currently Canada's only hope. Any break from Lexic through this next pattern is very likely to be the end unless it's immediately traded back by Zany. There's one miss from Jerry, but honestly, most of the other combos in the lobby don't matter as long as Lexic and Zany can hold. If we do get like halfway through this section, then these supportive combos could start to matter if Canada can build up recoveries. And right now, they're up to 500 combos, so they are going to slowly bring this one back. But as long as Zany holds this combo, is going to be fending off that comeback from Canada. But all it takes is a few more misses from the support, and Canada could do it even without a miss from Zany. And tricky pattern coming up. We'll see which players drop off. It's going to be Caveman finding the first miss. Lexic as well. That was the one player you couldn't afford to miss for Canada, and Philippines are going to run away with this one. Zany breaks as well, but I just don't know if the time is there. I mean, there is a fair bit of map left. Yuki is kind of the only big combo left for the Philippines, but that miss from Sumyeon is really going to hurt. Now it's all up to Jackie. Yuki does find the miss, but I don't know if Jackie has the time. The map
it's coming back.
Quickly coming to a close. It's down to 100,000 points, but I think Canada are just going to run out of time on this one, and giving up a break point on your protected pick is absolutely devastating.
It came down to the wire. Zany with a monumental performance to carry the team to this win. Best score in the lobby by 190k here. And unfortunate to see the S rank on Sumyeon, and great scores as well from Jackie Lexic, but it's the Philippines with that overall 4-man team score to put it together to go up 4-0 here.
Yeah, Zany has been absolutely on fire all tournament long. There's a reason Zany was the top performer in the qualifiers, and looking to put up another good showing in the quarterfinals. Canada now have to face off against the Philippines on the DT2. Now this is interesting because we mentioned the overlapping skill sets, and this is one that both teams have looked really good on. Both teams have been really strong on the tapping, but not sure if this is one Exia would normally play. So maybe it becomes a bit more difficult for Canada with their couple players missing, and I think Philippines are likely counting on that.
Yeah, I really don't know how this is gonna go for Canada. And when you see a comment like, "I get to play a DT2 after X amount of years," like, you hope they can put up a good score to fulfill it. We do see Lafarai and as well coming back into the map has been a good performer for Philippines. Got a great score on Hidden One. Different kind of map than Hidden One, of course. This is a 261 bursts. I think the longest burst in this map is just 9 notes, but still at 261 BPM, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, you have to keep in mind the finger control is a big factor as well. And so this map gets pretty stamina intensive, especially towards the end.
Coming into the DT2 here, and oh, mind we're not going in? Okay, we're going in. Gonna see it if Canada has 4 players that can play this comfortably here. Did see a little bit of 4th player syndrome on that last map, and it's going to be really telling in the accuracies here because I feel like most players are going to be able to hold a combo through this. Lafarai with an early miss as well as Jackson Jason, but the accuracies are going to tell the real story here.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Canada, their accuracies are currently in the gutters. Their best accuracy 97, and then a whole lot of 94s, 93s. Meanwhile, Philippines actually have dropped some accuracy as well, but their lowest is the 95, and that's going to give them a pretty solid lead into the start. Canada has dropped a fair bit of combo as well, and there's a lot of combo to be gained on this map, and it means if you do miss early, it can be incredibly impactful. Lifkai does finally find a miss for the Philippines, so it's going to stem the bleeding for Canada a little bit. Jackson is on the recovery now, but not anymore. Caveman finds a miss as well, and Philippines right back in the driver's seat as it's 3 FCs to 2. Acer trying to support Jackie, but they need more. Jackie drops the last FC off of Canada. Acer all alone now, and Juno, this is looking like a dire match for Canada.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. It's just yeah, that when your highest accuracy player drops the combo and then your other players are following suit, that's really not what you want to see. It's already getting up to almost 500 combo. Jackie and Jackson Jason going again, and it's just you hate to see it for Canada here. And yeah, as we said coming into this, like, these teams, they're close in the seeding, but it all comes down ultimately to what the players do in the match, and it looks like Philippines are showing up here. Zany with another full combo in this match, or it might be the first full combo, but going to be getting a 98% FC on the DT2 1.13 million score.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, Canada's missing a couple players, but with how dominant the Philippines have looked, I'm 99% sure having those players available for Canada would not have come close to making up the difference. It has been pure dominance on Philippines. I mean, they've won, what, four maps now by nearly 1 million points. Pretty much the only close map we've seen was that last Hard Rock 3, and Canada, they've got to pick left, but they've only got one more chance to make it count. You know, how does Canada come back here? What's the dream?
All right, the dream is they take away the Nomad 1 ban from Philippines, and then they pick that.
Yeah,
and then
they just need 5 more points after that, right? That shouldn't be.
They
a problem.
only need 5 more points. They suddenly drink a monster and not sponsored, but then they go for Hard Rock 1, and
Yeah.
it's Mech Tech.
Yep. Thank you
Oh,
for
true.
attending
Why?
our... Oh.
Why are they picking hit? Why aren't they picking Hard Rock 2? It's Canadian content.
That is true. I think they don't want to pick Hard Rock 2. That looks a little bit scary. I mean, okay, Canada had a good score on the Hard Rock 2 last week, but they're missing Exia, who was their second best Hard Rock player, so I think that becomes a lot scarier. And yeah, so in conclusion, Canada will be winning this match without question. But let's see what they can do here. Realistically, we need like Zany to be AFK the rest of the match. Zany has been an unstoppable force for the Philippines, and Canada has just not had anybody to match.
Yeah, and going into this Hard Rock 1, another way that you could think about this is that this is the shortest map in the pool. I would argue one of the most, like, just throw the dice type of maps. And this is a minute 50 of 210 BPM mech tech. And really something that all these players should be able to play. So we'll see how this comes out on the other side. We're going to be seeing Hetzer back in the lobby. El and Zany, Yuki. Yuki has just been in on every map and just going strong, like 600k plus every map. Just been a solid presence.
Yeah. Good luck, have funs. Now in the chat. In Canada, have a minute and 50 seconds to keep themselves in the winner's bracket, to keep themselves in this match for just a moment longer. Let's see if Jackie, Samyan, Acer, and Jackson Jason can hold it together, or if Yuki, Hetzer, Al, and Zany can close out the sweep and push the Philippines through to the semifinals in an extremely dominant fashion. Here we go.
Yep, getting into Hard Rock 1. And this map doesn't give you anything to look at. It just gets right to business with these kick sliders, aim patterns, and bursts. And very short, as we said, minute 50. So any type form of combo is going to matter here. And getting into this, still no breaks to be seen early on. All of these kick sliders can get so tricky. There was that buzz slider right there where we saw Hetzer, Acer, and Jackie all fall, and Zany as well. So 2 breaks on each side. We're looking at the center of the screen right now. Slight advantage for the Philippines, although with another break from Hetzer, it is combo advantage over to Canada with those recoveries on Jackie and Acer.
Yeah, I mean, Canada is keeping this close. That's something they've not been able to do on previous maps. So Canada already in a much better spot than they have been previously. Acer is going to trade misses with Zany, but Philippines still have those 2 FCs. L, Jackson, Jason are going to trade, so that's going to be a wash, but it is Jackie on a much better recovery than Hetzer, who does try and get another miss, and Canada have found themselves with 100,000 score lead, only a quarter of the map to go, but as long as Yuki holds this combo, Philippines are still in this one. All it takes is 1 miss from Samyan, and honestly at this point probably a miss from Jackie as well for Philippines to bring it back, but they're quickly running out of time, and I think we might see... Oh, that's a 3-way miss, and Yuki is still holding. Juno, I think they might have time. It's going to be incredibly close down to the wire. It is a slow ending of the map, but it's so much combo. It's dropping so quickly. There are a couple more bursts, and with Yuki holding, I think it's going to go back over at the end, and Yuki is going to complete the sweep. The question is, can Yuki secure the FC? It looks like it will be the case, and Canada not able to get a point on the board. They are going to be dropping down to the losers bracket, and a huge congratulations to Philippines. An incredibly deserved win. They were dominant the whole way through.
The 5th seed of the tournament says to the 4th seed, hey, you might be 1 seed higher than us, but we're going to show how dominant we could be. Yuki, I said he's just such a steady presence throughout this match, getting consistently good scores, and pulls out an FC to close out the sweep for the Philippines. Such a dominant performance.
Yeah, Philippines are going to move on to face the 1st seed in the United States. So that's going to be the toughest matchup they've faced so far. But if they can put up a similar performance to today, I think they've got a real shot. Meanwhile, Canada is going to be facing off against the winner of Taiwan versus Hong Kong. That match is going to be coming up later today for those of you who are 0 UTC or later. For those of us in North America, that is going to be tomorrow. Our next match is going to be our final winners bracket match between Russia and Australia. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be 11 UTC today. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, not much more to say here. Thank you for joining us for this match, and we'll see you again at 11 UTC. Thank you, iFlame, for commentating with me tonight. It's been a blast.
Yep, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night.
Have a good night.